Recently, the Wall Street Journal, they published a story about President Biden's mental acuity. However, there's one problem. It suffers greatly. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. I'm going to dig deep into this story. So let's get down to it and let's talk about it and rip it to shreds. According to CNN, quote, the Wall Street Journal's story about Biden's mental acuity suffers from glaring problems, close quote. The Wall Street Journal owes its readers and the public better. The business broadsheet published and hyped a story Wednesday declaring that behind closed doors, President Joe Biden has shown signs of slipping. The story questioned Biden's mental acuity, playing into a GOP-propelled narrative that the 81-year-old president lacks the fitness to hold the nation's highest office. But an examination of the report reveals a glaring problem. Most of the sources reporters Annie Linsky and Soban Hughes relied on were Republicans. I keep telling you all. On all these other networks, when they talk about the polls say that Trump's in the lead, they're only talking about the Republican people who support Trump. So they definitely don't interview black people. There are no posters coming into black neighborhoods asking us anything. That's why I don't even pay the polls no attention. In 2016, they had Hillary Clinton leading in all the polls, and she lost the election. So these faked, rigged poll numbers mean nothing to us. Let me get back to this story here. But an examination of the report reveals a glaring problem most of the sources reporters used relied on were Republicans. In fact, buried in the story, the reporters themselves acknowledged that they had drawn their sweeping conclusion based on GOP sources, who obviously had an incentive to make comments that will damage Biden's candidacy. Most of those who said Biden performed poorly were Republicans, but some Democrats said that he showed his age in several of the exchanges. Linsky and Hughes conceded. The duo also noted that they had spoken to sources in the administration who found no fault with the way Biden conducted himself in meetings for which they were present. Republicans accusing their political foe of lacking the mental fitness to hold office is nothing surprising. Well, what about these old dried up senators? Look at Senator Lindsey Graham, old. What about Senator Mitch McConnell, old? There are so many old people in the Senate and in Congress, and yet they're making a big deal out of President Biden's age. Trump is 77 years old. And you can clearly look at him and see that there are some problems. He's not focused. He slurs his words a lot. His concentration is not there. Oftentimes, he has to talk very, very slow. And then when he's talking, it's nonsensical. So when you do the comparativeness here, they're both the same. How about that? I keep telling you all, we need to change in America. America is ready for a woman president. I don't care if it's unprecedented, whether folk like it or not, get upset about it or not, America needs a woman president at the helm. One who can get the job done. Philadelphia, after 100 plus years, elected a female as its mayor, Sherelle Parker, and she's doing a great job. So it's time for America to have a woman president. Women are insightful. Women are thoughtful. Women have sensitivity. Women look at the details. Women have been in the forefront of so many different things in this nation, yet they don't get the credit that they deserved. My mother was one of the strongest and most intelligent women that I've ever met in my life, and she taught me well. And I hope that in the next election, they have two women running. instead of the same old status quo. Old white men. It's time for a change. So, now Republicans accusing their political foe of lacking the mental fitness to hold office is nothing surprising. Such accusations are made every night on Fox News. They don't say anything good about nobody except Trump. I can't stand Fox News. I call it the racist and bigoted network because that's what they're over there. And they always have one token black person they won't let talk at all. What? I don't care if you get mad with me. It doesn't matter. I told you, I'm built tough. Doesn't matter. You can write all the comments you want. I don't pay the comments any mind because a fact is a fact. How many black people do you see on Fox News? Every time they write a story or report about black people, it's never positive, it's never decent, it's never good. We have a long, rich history, like any other people, of positivity. Every culture, every ethnicity, every group has people who do terrible things. No one people are superior to another group of people. None. Now, Donald Trump, who at 77 years old, has also shown plenty of signs of waning mental faculties, including repeatedly falling asleep, this article was written some time ago, at his own high-stakes hush money trial, has made the accusations a centerpiece of his campaign. In other words, these accusations from the right aren't exactly news. It's a little surprising that the Wall Street Journal thought it was breaking news when congressional Republicans told them the same false claims they've spotted on Fox News for years. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said, but it's also telling that the only individuals willing to smear the president in this story are political opponents afraid to use their names plus one proven liar. If you're bold, show your face. If you're bold, put your name out there. If you're bold, say what you mean what you say, stand for it, and don't back down. Even more inexplicable is why the Journal would quote former White House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in the piece as a serious person speaking in good faith. McCarthy is, in fact, a MAGA Republican who has for years lied on behalf of Trump. I'm sure reporters at the Journal would acknowledge McCarthy's extreme record of dishonesty in private. So why present him to readers as an honest arbiter of reality? The New York Times, Katie Rogers, and Annie Kearney even reported last year that McCarthy had praised Biden's mental faculties when speaking amongst confidants. A starkly different tune than the one he is now singing in public. Don't you all know behind closed doors all these people are friends? They drink together, they whore together, they smoke together, they do drugs together, they lie together. They're all friends behind closed doors. Every last one of them. They all talk to each other. That's why they say the general person on the right. See, this is the reason why I can't be a politician. I cuss them all out. It's straight up. You fire at me, I fire back up at you. You talk about me, I talk about you. You act like you crazy, I act like I'm crazy. Not going to happen. All the civility, so-called civility in politics, it does not exist. There is no civility. You either win or lose. That's it. That's why it's dangerous to keep portraying these little games in school. Everybody gets a prize. Everybody can't get a prize. You're going to have winners and you're going to have losers in the game of life. Privately, Mr. McCarthy has told allies that he has found Mr. Biden to be mentally sharp in meetings. Rogers and Kearney reported in March 2023. Rogers re-upped that reporting on Wednesday in the wake of the Journal's story. Brazenly, while quoting McCarthy, the Journal apparently ignored on-the-record statements provided by high-ranking Democrats. Former White House Speaker Nancy Pelosi disclosed that she spoke to the newsletter, but she was notably not quoted in the piece. Other Democrats went public on Wednesday with similar experiences. Instead, one of the only on-that-record quotes in the entire story was delivered by the former Republican leader who would lie about the color of the sky if it pleased Trump. You remember the story about the Teflon Don in New York City? Think about it. The Journal ignored testimony by Democrats, focused on attacks by Republicans, and printed a hit piece. Pelosi protested on X. Hughes responded to the criticism Wednesday, telling CNN News Central that her job is to be the agent of the reader. BS. And that she is not going to publish the quote provided to me or us by every single Democrat. Well, stop quoting these Republicans then. A spokesperson for the Journal told me that Rupert Murdoch-owned newspaper, which is under the stewardship of newish editor Emma Tucker, stands by its reporting. If Tucker is comfortable with such shabby journalism, it is welcome. Remember this. That could be your son or your daughter that's involved in politics, and how would you feel if somebody was verbally cascading somebody that you know and love? And politics is not for the faint of heart. People will get their hearts broken thinking they can become a politician. So win, lose, or draw, may the best person win. And basically, it's the lesser of two evils. That's what this campaign comes down to. The lesser of two evils. Whether you like it or not, that's a stipulated fact. And as I close out, my question is, where are all the punk Democrats at? Yeah, you punk Democrats that are hiding behind your titles, hiding behind your desk, constantly doing things. And what is the Congressional Black Caucus doing outside of having meetings? One thing I applaud the civil rights movement for, they were all on the front line. They took the criticism. They took the heat. They went to prison. They did not quit. They didn't surrender. They didn't give up. And now people have gotten into political office and they're scared to open up their mouths and talk the way that they should. For those of you that are watching and those of you that are in the comment section, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. As I've said before, all your comments are welcome. It's all good. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to Tyrone Bowman tonight, because, baby, we just getting started here. Because on the way to November, we are going to have some hot topics on Tyrone Bowman tonight. So, till next time, never surrender, never quit.